If only they knew. The hub for young business minds.
Yes, people, welcome back to another episode of the If Only They Knew podcast. Today, I'm joined by Atish Parmar, the digital marketing expert that specializes in social media marketing strategies for the property and construction industry. Atish, thanks for coming on, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, very well, thanks, Ted. First of all, thanks for having me on. I've been seeing your posts on social media, and I thought, right, let me see what you're up to. But yeah, I'm good. I'll start with an intro from where I am right now, what I've been doing, and how I've come to kind of this stage in my life, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I'm Atish Parmar. I run a social media marketing agency called Metric Connect. We're based in Leicestershire. It's been about 18, well, we're nearing enough 18 months into our life of digital marketing, social media marketing. I come from a property background. So if we go all the way back, I studied in Sheffield Hallam University, didn't actually get a degree because I was one of the people that really went to university for the wrong reasons, and had a great time. I met my wonderful wife there, but other than that, it was just a big party for me. My kind of mindset wasn't the business side of things at that time. It was more of a case where get a degree, go to London, live the London life, and see how it goes. No plan, to be fair. So after I kind of quit university, I was in discussions with my mum. She got into the property industry by having properties of ourselves, and us got myself and my sister having 2 properties in Sheffield where we used to live. And she said, right, I want to start something here because I've had enough of my job. Again, still oblivious to the business world. And I said, yeah, carry on. But she needed my help with regards to, because Rightmove just came along then. And her computer skills weren't great. And I as the younger guys, we know what we're doing. So I was taking pictures so she launched the letting agency in Leicester for myself, part-time, and I was helping her, not had the intentions of joining the business at all. And then I started getting, I kind of liked it because we were getting stats from Rightmove. I was uploading pictures from Sheffield Hallam University's library, and they were getting sent back to my mum, she was back in Leicester, taking the inquiries. From that, it just got to a response where I was more committed to helping her rather than university, and quit university, joined her, and that was in 2006. We did 12 years of it, became letting agent of the year from the Estes. We got the award from Phil Spencer and all that. We upped our game. We bought our building within that 12 years. We were managing approximately just over 300 properties when we sold the business, which was 2 years ago. Just because I came to a stage where for the first 5 years was hunger, energy, drive, everything was there. And then I got married, I had kids, and it suddenly started to, the hunger wasn't there for me. The business element was because I started to develop properties about 5 years ago, where we converted commercial property into residentials. And the business element was brilliant because I was thinking, right, I love this side, but I don't like the aspect of lettings, because you got to imagine we had a portfolio of that many properties. Most of the calls were bad.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the calls are saying, this has gone wrong. Is this eviction happening? We're going to court here, or unhappy landlords because they're not paid. So it got to a stage where we thought, right, let's see what's going on. To be fair, I did launch another office in Northampton 5 years after I launched this one. And we got a good deal from that. And I thought, right, we're going to test this for our Leicester office. And then, 2 years ago, we sold that. My intentions, again, were to go straight into property development. But having done that, I've been spending a lot of time delegating a lot of work just to free up my time. Just because that's what you hear. Yeah, and just because you're hearing it a lot on social medias, and you're once you've cleared all the junk out from your followers on Instagram, you're nurturing good stuff. And this is the stuff I was learning. So, right, let's delegate. So when that delegation came, I was in a good position to say, right, I still want to be in business, but what shall I do now? Because I've freed up my time.
Yeah.
So I took 18 months off, absolutely doing nothing. Just because I wanted to make sure the next step of my life was going to be something that I want to do, how it's going to fit in my life, and more about me rather than me making money. And I think once I changed that mindset, things got a bit easier. Because on my SEO, I learned how to do SEO myself when it came to the estate agent side. And social media we were good at it. I mean, I still get memories on my Facebook, you know, when you say 12 years or 10-year memories, and they're all to do with Twitter and Facebook. So I share that on my stories, just so that people know that I've been doing it for a while. It's not just me kind of changed and I'm a social media expert. It's not like there's a lot of work that's been gone into it. But what I did was I took 6 months off just to learn Facebook ads.
Wow.
To just before launching Metric Connect, which is my current business. I just find that there's so many new businesses and they do it the more standard way of, okay, marketing, business plan, business loan, networking, but the fundamentals for social media marketing are just so key to the world right now. And I felt that, right, it's a good business to launch. I can actually help businesses. And now seeing if, I mean, we've got a decent client list, to be fair now. We've got good stuff happening to our clients, and that's the best thing. Not about, right, I'm getting this in. Before I used to worry about how many properties have I got to manage, this is how much money I'm going to make, but now it's flipped. So my clients are WhatsApping me in the morning saying, wow, check this out, we've got this many leads. And that's where I'm at right now, and it's brilliant. We've launched a podcast. I'm doing IG lives and helping people. Yesterday I had an IG live with a local social media expert. We didn't even talk about social media. We talked about mindset, about business owners, on how to kind of change the way you're thinking, because, and even personal stuff deep down, that what do you need to change to make sure you're regurgitating the right information out to the right people, and then it's working. It's a full circle when you're committing your good time to yourself. But that's where I'm at right now. I'm here, social media marketing, a bit of property development, which I don't really expose it, but I think I should, because the minute I talk more about the property development side of things, I'm getting so many DMs. I think it's the new thing that people want to do right now.
Yeah. No, it sounds like you've been one, in very good positions, but two, I think it's because of perhaps your proactiveness. So it made me wonder, what was you like? You mentioned why you sort of went to university, but what was you like sort of before that, like as a kid almost? Was you proactive like that, or did something just click one day?
No. I got kicked out of school. I got done for plagiarism at university. So no, it was bad. Not with the right. I mean, I'm still with the same crowds. Maybe not the business side, but I've got a few childhood friends that we're still with. But no, I was just a naughty kid, and it was always like that. I mean, it's very cliche to say that in this day and age, and I don't like kind of saying it. I don't know why, but the intentions weren't there. But I think when my mum started the business, and I just wanted to help her initially, just to, get on with it. But it was just meeting people and them telling you, oh, we do this. A lot of people see me, I'm quite an honest and transparent person, to be fair. And I think that people always like that. And I was having, people that are 20, 30 years older than me saying, oh, I actually like what you're saying. Why don't you stick around? And then I was going for lunches and dinners with, people. I was the youngest kid everywhere I went in when it started, the estate side. But they liked it, and they seen my hunger and drive the minute I figured out, hang on, why don't we just be real with our client? Why don't we just tell them exactly what we do? And these are our fees. If they like it, they like it, because our service was pretty good anyway. We made the fundamentals right so that people will kind of put me on a tannoy than myself putting on a pedestal. And that I think always works. But yeah, No, I had no intentions of being a entrepreneur, which I don't call myself one because, like I said, it's a bit cliche. But yeah, business owner. Yeah, I just love business, and hence why I've progressed to where I am right now.
And I think that's an important point you made there about when you were starting off and you was younger. People almost, I don't know how to say it in a nice way, but like I've sort of experienced it lately as well. Like where I'm sort of getting in with business people that are older, and I'm sort of coming along to the meetings and stuff. They sort of look at me like the token young guy. I know that's such a weird thing, but they're like, oh my God, he's so
Yeah,
young. And even if I'm like half as good as one of them, they just, because of the age, they're like, oh my God, like he's the best thing like ever because he's so young and he's half as good as us. If we can work
yeah.
on him now, we can get him to a point where he's like extreme, you know. So I think to all the young people listening to this, now's the chance to do it because you're going to be looked at in such a different light, such a more positive light when you're around all these other older people. It's just an amazing opportunity to grab whilst you're young.
But the thing is, look, I'm 36 now,
Mm.
and I was speaking to an 18-year-old. He got his grades, and he's an amazing kid. And I spent, I think, an hour with him in a car, and I was discussing so much stuff about me, and he was so glued. And I know how the other people feel when the older people are talking to me. So yeah, if people are watching this, the young John, the young age group, then there's so many people that want to help. They don't want to give you a mastermind for 20 grand and blah blah blah. There's real people out there that want to see young people do well, and it's just about kind of leeching onto what even 10 minutes of what someone has got to say, and actually actioning that work as well. Hard work. There's no 3-day course, or there's no social media videos. There's just hard work that people want to put in, and if you've got that installed in your foundations, see it as it's all green lights.
A lot of people, yeah, a lot of people like read books and stuff, and I see it like a lot of entrepreneurs that, you know, those business people that they claim, like you said, they claim to be entrepreneurs, and they sort of ruin the term entrepreneur when they don't actually have a business as such. Their business is more other people's business, and they're promoting these books and stuff like that. And it's just like, if you was really like deep into business, you wouldn't have as much time, in my opinion, to really read all of these books and put them into action. So I feel like there's a lot of young people listening to this, which I fell into the trap of as well, of I need to read this book and I need to read that book and I need to read this book, Gary's V book, I need to watch all his videos. And before you know it, you're spending 3/4 of your time reading and the rest of the time a bed because you're knackered from all the reading and all that, and you're not putting it into action, you know.
Yeah, that's so true, because I know people that do a course or read a book, but by the time, if you read a book, it'll take you, to get stuff installed, it'll take you 3 to 6 months to change your life. However, you'll get someone that reads a book to read a book, or a course to do another course, and it's not about that. Then you've got your fundamentals wrong. I think you need to look deep down inside and find out, right, what is your problem. And to be fair, most of the time it's to actually make and stop telling people you're reading books as well, because what are you going to get out of that? What these pictures you're putting up, that's fine, but if you're actually nurturing exactly what they're saying, and listen, I wasn't a book reader. It's a new thing for me. Podcast is my main thing at the minute, hence why we're here. But it's just a case of kind of learning and putting out the hard work. If that's not what you're doing and you're doing it for somebody else, then it's difficult.
Yeah, you can count me on this. If I ever put up a picture of a book, I promise I'll have some sort of value in that post. Yeah, I'll either have something, an extract from the book, or something of value. I promise I just won't post it and say, "Oh look, I spent 3 hours reading this," and
yeah.
I promise you will get something from it. I promise.
Yeah, but that's my take on it. But everyone's different. I'm not here to kind of say what's right and what's wrong. I don't see myself as the kind of go-to guy when it comes to business. This is my journey, and this is what I feel. And whoever feels comfortable listening to what I've got to say, then yeah, I'm happy to discuss loads of stuff, and especially the youngsters. I love teaching, and they're fresh. They want to do things. They've got social media when we didn't have it at that time, when you're 18, 19, and I think it's just an amazing step, an amazing era for everybody at the minute.
Yeah, no, 100%. So you sort of spoke about having that change in your interest in your career, almost from the property to then social media, but you made it very clear that you did have that social media background in the past. It wasn't something you sort of jumped ship towards because it was like the popular thing or whatever. So I wondered, but do you see yourself as someone that holds like many different skills, or have you just doubled down on a certain set of skills? Like I feel like I've done that.
Yeah, no, double down, 100%. What I've done is stuck to the two core things that financially keep me going,
Yeah.
giving the life that I want. But then go in on both those things. So the social media aspect was right. I know it, and when I do audits and proposals to people, my first question is, how do you know? How good are you at social media? And everybody will say, yeah, you know, I've got my Instagram, I've got my Facebook. But then when you talk about um, Facebook ads and the back ends of business manager or sales funnels and lead generation, APIs and stuff, it's a whole new level. So what I did was I kind of learned it for about 9 months, specifically Facebook ads, Instagram ads. And now we're doing, we're focusing on LinkedIn as well, because it's so organic for, I mean, you know, LinkedIn, you put, it's very different. It's the same kind of formulas, but people are seeing more growth and organic reach on there. But yeah, it's all about me just teaching myself then to my staff. This is how we're taking it. But, and even with the property side of things, I only delegated with management, builders, turnkey projects, because my day-to-day running is providing for my clients for Metric Connect, which is my core business. The other thing should be looking after itself. Don't get me wrong, it's not seamless, but you've got to have the fundamentals correct, so that if you've got a call here, you know how to react to it.
That sort of made me think of just there, like a lot of people are after that financial freedom, as they put it, where they have sort of a business working in the background for them after they set up their foundations. And I wondered, what's your sort of take on that? It seems like you're pretty much there in terms of having something that works for you.
Yeah, but that took me 15 years though.
Yeah.
So that didn't just happen because I sold the business. Yeah, I got the cash for it, but that goes pretty quick. But it was a case where I found out it took me 7 years to plan to be where, or 6 years to plan to be here. But it was a case where I found out that the property portfolio side of things is my backbone to not financial freedom, just to keep me where I am right now. So the importance of that in my life is massive, because that keeps a roof over our head. It lets me do what I want to do. But it was quite painful and hardship to get to that, because it's hard work developing properties or managing a portfolio. So yourself, and you know, at one point my WhatsApp was mental, and that was straight after I sold the business, and I thought, God, I've just gone back. Yeah. But it's all my tenants. So it was a case where I'm recycling these things that I shouldn't be doing. So yeah, no, you just got to make sure, you need to find out where because you need the money to make sure it does come in, that happiness and success. It has a massive thing to do with it. So to have that installed and have your foundations right, which I feel properties are an amazing way to do it, but it takes time. It's not a case where you're going to flip quickly and then you're going to do it, because you've got a family to look after, you've got a mortgage to pay. So you keep building that, and it will decrease your kind of urgency to make sure it's money on the business that you've been doing. So that's my point. So my kind of take on my 9 to 5 or 9 to whatever it is in the day-to-day for the social media marketing is helping people, and fundamentally that's paying me as well. But it's more of a fun thing for me to do now. Yeah. I would never be doing a podcast on a Friday in the day with yourself if I was locked down. This is completely different. Okay, we're just coming out of lockdown and stuff like that, but I think this is going to carry on. People want to hear these stories to kind of think, okay, if he can do it, I can do it. And don't get me wrong, I didn't do you listen to Gary Vee and he says I didn't go out on Friday, Saturday, Sundays. I did.
Yeah.
Well, I'm nowhere near him, but I'm not the guy who did the I was the amazing entrepreneur. I was going out with my mates Friday, Saturday, but I think in the last 2 years I've completely changed. Just because I want to level up now. It's a case where you come into your life and you think, right, what's my why? Where do I really want to be? And mine is to kind of help people. My long end goal is to help other people, and to do that, I've got to make sure I'm quite stable, the businesses are stable, and then I can move forward. I'm not at that stage yet.
I'm glad you mentioned that it takes time, because I get so many messages from the hundreds of people, young people specifically, that listen to this, and so many of them are they're after that quick buck. They want something now. They want the answer now, and they want to put it into practice and get the results tomorrow. So I'm so glad you said it. What, 15 years was it? You said it took.
Yeah, so I went into business at 21. I'm 36 now.
Yeah.
And it's not a case where when I did this, it happened. It didn't. It was a gradual, the gradual hikes and massive dips, and then the stress of it. Hence why the hair's looking like this, mate.
Hence why I got the cap on as well, mate.
Yeah, I need a cap. But that's what comes with it. The hardship comes with it. But then it's nice to talk to someone like this and kind of, then you kind of sit back and say, actually, do you know what? I've not done bad, but I don't even think I've started yet. The way I've took a personal approach on well-being and health and fitness, and then sorting out the actual core things in my life now, so that it's only the beginning. What I want to do is something good, legacies, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that as well, because for me, I've set up this media group, because I don't know if you know that there's a media group, and the podcast is like a sub group of that, just like a little add-on. And I've been running the media group almost 3 years exactly in a few weeks. And you know, when you stop and think, oh well, I haven't really achieved anything, and then you look back and you're like, wow, I actually have, from where we started off, in a few months changed, and then I've done this, and in a few months I've done that. And like you said, it's not sequential. So it's not like I did one thing and then that happened, and then because of that happened. It was, I did something, I thought it didn't work, and then literally sometimes a year later, that thing almost pays off again. It sort of loops back. And it's weird how it happens, especially with the podcast. So much has happened from the podcast, and little things as well. It just sort of helps. If I go into a meeting, I can sort of use it as a weird, soft way to sort of sell myself as well. Oh, he's the guy with the podcast, isn't he? And then they look into it, and it's all these little things that it doesn't have a massive effect immediately, but they do play off in the long term, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, someone told me to start a journal.
Wow.
I can't get myself around it, but that's what it's all about, because you're then actually, because you get to a stage where you're thinking, oh, is this worth it? Or I've got, I'm kind of stressed out, or is this? But then when you actually look back, exactly what you just said, I'm just saying it in a different way, to be fair. But when you look at, if you're doing it on a journal basis, oh yeah, I did this. I mean, I did a post, and someone asked me, how's your lockdown been? And that, business-wise. And to be fair, our lockdown was pretty good. I mean, we were just giving COVID signs and posts and content for everything. But what happened was, I started doing IG lives on a Thursday night, and I started my own podcast, which is the Social Connection podcast. And for that, it was a kind of way where you're thinking, no, it's not been that bad. And you're reaping the benefits from it, because we're putting exposure out there. This is giving exposure to both of us. But what's happening is it's actually giving someone that's thinking about doing a business, or thinking about what they're going through, to kind of say, it's not that bad. And no one has that smooth ride. That's what you need to get to. And it's not a quick fix. We live in a world where we throw our clothes away straight away. Instagram likes, when we see it, we want to see the likes, or we want to see engagement. In business, in finances, it doesn't work like that. I from my experience and from what I've heard.
I had the UK's #1 unconscious mind therapist on this podcast a few weeks ago, and he sort of mentioned the fact that yes, things do take a long time, but if you can sort of start visualizing things and almost put things into place now, ready for when the moment can happen. He said you'll reap so many different rewards from that, you know. And I think that's what I've been trying to do as well.
What I and my followers always hear about this, I'm a strong believer in reverse engineering what you want to do. So if your goal is in the next year to have a six-pack, then you got to stop going. You'll be stop them lagers by today.
Yeah.
So if you want your business to turn 10K, then work backwards and see what the end goal is. Because then what happens is you're here today and you're thinking, whoa, I've got to do a fair bit to make sure I'm getting there. And I think that works. It works with everything. I'm a strong believer in reverse engineering, and it does work. But it's exactly what it is, because you then otherwise, if you've not got it and the lines are blurry, it's not binary, then you come to that stage and you've not achieved what you want to do, and then there's that dip. But you want to kind of go over that dip, and to do that, it's in your hands, and how you structure it, how you get your path sorted out, pretty much, for whatever it is you're trying to achieve.
And just on that point as well, very quickly, like take this podcast for example, the audio versions fly in, and I sort of have like no issues in one, saying that, and two, sort of having that platform doing very well. But then I've also got the YouTube, which is terrible. Like it's fallen flat on its arse, if I'm being honest. Like it hardly gets any views. I think it's just a case of me not marketing it correctly and stuff like that. But the audio's fine, YouTube's terrible. But I still do the YouTube premieres. You know, when you set schedule a video and it goes live at a certain time, I still do that, even though there'll be like one or two people watching it. I still do it because I know in a few months or even a year or so, those numbers will pick up, and that's where I want to be in the long term. So I'm keeping that in place, you know, so the numbers will gradually go up and up and up, and it'll get to a point where there's thousands watching the premiere.
Because if you stop now, you've completely lost it. Because the consistency, you got to have that consistency. Okay, the numbers, this is what happened to my Instagram lives. But my wife or my friends will say, oh, there was only that many people watching. And I'm thinking that's fine, because I'm in it in the long journey. But it's not even that. When you repurpose it, or your YouTube files, when they're actually saying, oh yeah, I know, Ted, actually, do you know what? I might just go on Spotify because I'm in the car. So you'll still, you'll plant that seed, but it's growing somewhere else. And repurposing media is massive at the minute. And I think if you stop, you're just kind of putting a negative impact on your business and your growth.
Yeah. It's like I wouldn't stop with anything big. Like I know it's a sub sort of format of the main thing, but I wouldn't stop the podcast, for example. And when I first put it out, the numbers are terrible, you know. And then eventually it picked up. And imagine if I would have stopped in like episode 3, and I thought, you know what, this ain't gonna work. I'll just stop there. I would never have. I think it's just stupid if you stop too early. I think I'd rather fail terribly. This is just my opinion. I'd rather fail terribly, like have it crash into the wall and say I have to stop, than just stop on a whim. Oh, it's quite crap, I'll just stop here, like on episode 3 or whatever.
But there's loads of people that have stopped, but they're not going to say that they've done it because it doesn't look very good. But the people that are going through the waves, consistency is key. But you got to keep knocking on that door, because something may happen. You know, something good can come of it, and it normally does. If you keep smacking, keep hammering the wall down, it's going to come down. So, don't quit. That's what we're trying to say, isn't it? Yeah,
literally. It's just, I think it's as simple as that as well. And a lot of people, when I first heard people start saying just don't quit, I sort of just parred it off. Or say if I want to quit, like say if it's rubbish and I'll quit. But it's like, no, don't quit. Honestly, it's so simple, but just don't do it.
No, it's hard though. I mean, certain people, different lives, what they're going through, it's difficult. But having good affirmations, having a good vision board, the whys, why you're doing stuff, then people need to, kind of change the way they are. If they are thinking of quitting, then don't be a quitter. There's a reason why. There's something wrong if you're becoming a quitter, not because you're a bad person. There's some deep down values in there, and then I keep saying it, but you go deep down and find out what's going on. then you'll start nourishing yourself to kind of say, right, I need to change something. There's something that needs changing, isn't there? It's
Yeah,
not,
exactly.
I don't feel we're born to be entrepreneurs or it's in your blood, blah, blah, blah. It's just the life changes, who you're listening to, how you adapt as a person, how much of a hard worker you are. That's what changes people.
Mm.
Because like I said, I wasn't the type, I wasn't a born entrepreneur. I found out when I was 21 that I like it. And by 22, then the business was kind of, I became a business owner. I still didn't feel like one, but yeah, I mean, and some people, I mean, you see these Instagram posts and say, oh, the KFC guy was 60 when he did something, and Walt Disney was this old, and then it kind of drives you because you're thinking, okay, it's not just finish uni or finish college, and you're thinking, I need to do this, but then don't think that they did it straight away, because that lovely picture they put on Instagram, most of the time there's a lot of hard work or something that's been put on there.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a lot of failures that they may not have shown. But I think that's why conversations like this, especially with people like yourself, are important. It just shows that people are real, you know. It's not, I noticed that a lot on social media before I started networking properly. It seemed like everyone was almost fake. Like, oh my God, this guy's
Yeah.
so perfect, that woman's so perfect. And like you said, that we have so many ups and downs on a daily basis for years and years before it really hits off. So yeah, thank you so much for saying that. I'm sure my listeners will love that.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm kind of, I want to get to a stage where helping other people is going to be key to me. But like I said, I don't think I'm not the finished project one bit.
No.
You know, the business is still very young. The property side of things, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm going to start still up in my game to then get to the next level. I think the level is going to stop, to be fair.
You get to the top and then it's like, oh wow, there's actually one more level, and then you get there and it's like, okay, I'll just try this, and then before you know it, you've opened up a new pathway.
Yeah, some people say don't be greedy to do too much. I just think you only live once, and you should experience a lot of things in your life. Like, okay, everyone says it's traveling, but yeah, helping others' businesses, and how you can help your own community as well. I think giving back's massive. Again, I still think I need to be there. Not that I've done too much. I don't show people charity work. I don't think that's correct. I just do it myself and my wife do it in our own time and our own way without taking a picture or telling people.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I feel. That's where I'm at with it, because I don't want to ever regurgitate someone else's story.
Yeah, no, we could talk about mindset all day, and part of me sort of wants to, but it'll be good for the people listening. If you don't mind saying, if you can, without revealing too much, of course, like some of the social media errors, the most common errors that you see with people on social media, if you don't mind.
Okay, so the main thing what people ask me is, I want to get 10,000 followers. Or they want 1,000 followers, or they just keep thinking about followers and likes. The issue with that is, it's fine having 10,000 followers, but only one person paying you from that is when you're going to start kicking yourself in your teeth. So what we kind of implement on the social media aspect is make sure you're starting to actually draw down to a niche of your business, find a niche, and then give the content exactly on give the content helping your niche to make your profile or your business grow organically, but the right way, slowly, but you're getting the right people actually commenting on it. So when we first started, we made sure it was the property industry that we we're going to be helping. So quantitative surveyors, property auctioneers, estate agents, conveyancers. So my content was very direct to say, this is the property side people we're bringing in. These are the tips that you should help your agency. And then I was growing within that. And we kind of used that as the main formula to help our clients to actually grow. The other thing is inconsistency when it comes to social media. Now, inconsistency comes from reactive posts. So if you see your competitor doing a post, you think, oh, I need to post one. And then you've not really thought about it. So I had a video come out last week to say how to kind of have your content scheduled.
Yeah.
because then it gives it spares so much time. You're being more creative. So let's say you've got a Saturday or a Sunday, or any day you're feeling creative. What we say is, write 4 things that are going to be the news in your industry, 4 things that are going to be tips, 4 things about you, and then maybe 5 or 6 things about the industry. And then you tick, tick, tick. And then your post schedule for the next month can be scheduled on Facebook Creator Studio, which can be linked to your Instagram. And you're pretty much sorted for your content for the whole month. And then what you're doing is you're waking up one day thinking, oh yeah, I did post that. But you put thought into that. It's not a reactive post. You've actually given someone content to then engage with you, to either drop you a DM or comment on your posts. And you're kind of seen as an authority within that niche as well. So planning the social media content, not looking for massive following. You got to create a good following. Don't get me wrong, but don't ever buy followers. That's probably the worst thing you can do. You see people with 50,000 followers and then they're getting 100 likes. The ratios are just not great. But yeah, it's all to do with what you're providing to your followers is key to your actual growth. And then growth being followers, and then revenue as well. You should be seeing a lot of people do social media and they don't see the monetizing aspect of it, and then they quit, or they don't quit. They're very inconsistent. And then it's very, you need a structural plan for the actual marketing. Once you've got that, you've got people like ourselves that they know with the social media marketing, they're actually managing it. They're publishing the post. You're looking after the newsletters, their Google reviews and stuff. And once you've got that kind of circle, the business will grow. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to be. I do consultations where people are saying, no, I love social media. I want to be in control. So the consultations, what we give it will take them up to 6 months to kind of fulfill. And we've created content for them. We've created ideas, why you should go live, why you should feature on podcasts, personal branding, PR. So we put that all into place and they feel more like they want to do it. So I didn't do that before. I kind of said, you should be delegating that work, but there are small micro SMEs that want to do that. And I thought, I don't want to leave that stone unturned. So we started the consultation side of things as well. Because people want to know from someone that's doing it every day on how can you make life easier for me on social media? Because it can get massive. Like everybody's trying to jump on TikTok when they're not naturally TikToking people, it's hard. Going on lives is difficult. Putting a camera in front of your face can be difficult. But then, once you do it the first time, it gets easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but I think I commented on one of your videos the other week. Like you mentioned, what's your biggest struggle when it comes to videos? And I said stuttering. Like if I was speaking to someone, even though it's on video, it's completely fine. But if I was to say the same thing, relay the same information, just myself and the camera, I have to do it literally about 20 times. And I might actually do a post about that, just showing people like the amount of times I've gone to speak and said, you just can't get the first word out.
I still do that. It's harder for a camera, but talking to you now, look, I mean, lives are so much better because you don't have to edit it. And it just seems that you want it perfect for when that lens is looking at your face. And that's a psychological battle, isn't it? Because we're doing the same thing. We're looking at something different. Maybe some people start putting pictures of certain people and actually talking to someone, but I still do it. I did I had to do a video for a newsletter last night. He told me quite late. And fortunately it was talking about myself. So it's not, you can keep talking. But when you're trying to give tips and tricks that are quite new, then I'm just like you, and people still do. I don't think you can master it, but again, it's consistency to kind of get it to a T.
It is, and I think with podcasts, and you probably know this yourself, like I think I've got the safety net of the fact that I can edit. So if I make a mistake, it's like, you know what, don't worry, I can say what I want. Literally, I can just edit that out. I can edit it out to make you look like an absolute evil person. I can make you look like an angel. Like I could do whatever I wanted. So yeah, I think definitely. But I think the main point from that is just get started with it. Like you said, the first time you do it, it'll probably be terrible. Even if you think it's good at the time, like my old YouTube videos, I've had to take them down because I look back on them. I actually thought at one point they were good to put out and have other people see them. Like,
But
so I,
that just means you're doing so well now, and your quality of work is much better than what it was.
mm,
But yeah, you're completely right. But I put it on a Facebook group within the podcast, and I kind of said, is there a delete button for and ums?
yeah,
Because that would save so much time. But you're right. When it comes to podcasts, you can actually make yourself look much better than.
mm,
I mean, I don't think I speak perfect English. I don't.
okay.
I have a Midlands accent. I don't. I mean, I'm not. My vocabulary is not amazing. But last year I thought, you know what? Forget. This is who I am.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not going to talk like somebody else. And because if you see me different, if I'm talking differently, and then when we meet in person, I'm a different guy. Then I've not done the right. The values are not right. So this is what it is. Exactly what I say on the tin.
mm.
And if you like it, you like it. There's nothing wrong with not liking it. Supposed to not supposed to like every single person on what they're saying on the internet anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's something I sort of took on board as well lately, and it's probably worked not in my favor, but just sort of being who I am. Like if you met me in real
In
life,
what way though? Why do you think that?
like I don't know whether it's sort of my like paranoia kicking in, but you just feel like sometimes I think if people see certain things for the first time of me, they may think, because they don't know who I am and my sarcasm and stuff, I think some people think, oh, he's a bit like, I don't know what they might think, but I can sort of tell there may be a little divide there where people may be getting the wrong impression.
Yeah, but like I said, there's too many people in the world to kind of micro vision that. And
Yeah.
there might be a person who say, you know what, he actually talks like me,
Mm.
and I want to be where he is. And you just flip it onto the positive and the sunny side of it to kind of say, you know what, there's certain people that want to do it. I mean, I get it from the Asian community. They're like, right, you're into social media marketing. We want to use that. And you're into property. So I have that side of things, and people, I kind of divert the attention to them sometimes. But there's so many different things. I mean, I play cricket and play a bit of football, but there's different types of whole different type of people there when it comes
Yeah,
to cricket and
yeah.
stuff. So you just got to be adaptive to what people are going to be looking at, and then don't think about the people that don't want it. All
Yeah,
they got to do is unfollow you. It's a done
yeah,
deal.
yeah.
Don't feel harsh on it. I mean,
Mm.
don't you think, okay, oh, I've got unfollowed by this person. Who cares?
Yeah, I think, and as well, like in the long term, things will stick. And the people, like you said, the people that want to be around, and the thing that I found is a lot of people that come where I come from, similar areas, they've actually found me. Like, and I think it's the fact that I'm slowly starting to relate and removing that need to be, oh, hi guys, I'm the perfect LinkedIn guy with the suit, and I wear a suit every day, and I have meetings all day, and I save people in the street, and I buy people coffee. Like, forget
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
I don't do any of that. So I'm not going to pretend. I sit in my room all day. I do nothing. I do a few podcasts here and there. I run my media group, and that's me done, man. I don't do anything
Yeah.
special at all. Like,
Yeah, yeah, and you know what? It's what it is. I don't change for anybody.
mm,
I don't change for the audience. What I do is, well, I want to help them at this angle, and I'm on this path. If you want to join me, join me. But negativity, there is a way of. I mean, I think you've got to be hit quite a lot of times and look at certain Google reviews to make you a bit more stronger.
yeah,
Because in my estate agent days, you get slated for even doing the right thing, and then you come to a stage where, okay, let me just take a step back and make sure that your armor is quite hardened and you're not too soft of what everybody's thinking of yourself.
yeah, exactly. And again, just do it. Like who cares at the end of the day? As long as the people that like you stick around and you're providing value, I think that's all that matters in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I get people. I've got a few people that DM me, and I help them out, and I've never met them. I may never, but they feel that they're getting so much from following me on Instagram, because I'm giving free content out, and their businesses are doing well from that. But then when they want to level up in a few years' time, I'm still going to be there. It's not
Yeah.
a case where I said, oh yeah, you've only just taken my free stuff. I don't care. That's where I am. So some other people, they may think differently and want to monetize it straight away, which can work as well. Again, I can only say what I do, and which I feel is correct.
Yeah, I think we're in it for the long game. But if I can, it's been great chatting to you. We're coming towards the end of it. If I can get you to summarize one bit of advice, I know you've given so much good advice, but if you can try and summarize one bit of advice for the young people out there that are either involved in business or sort of interested in diving into the business world, what would that advice be?
There'll be a few. I would say the only way for your business to work is real hard work. There's no quick flip to it. You can't give someone money to do your work. You've got to put in the 15 hours a day. Start networking with the right people. If your friends are in different places, they're still your friends. Don't start. A lot of people say get rid of your circles. Your friends are your friends because you need to go back to them because they know you for a while. But start talking to business owners, network with local businesses, and then just the main thing right now in this day and age is start telling people what you do on social media, because you may feel that your small idea no one knows about, but there's going to be a lot of people that are going to relate to what you're offering that you just don't know yet. And the only way to do that, it's free. Instagram videos are free, reels are free, LinkedIn. Make sure you're on all platforms and start telling people what you do. If you're 18 to 25 right now, you should be just marketing yourself, personal branding, and telling people this is what I want to do. And I mean, a lot of people want to show people that, oh, I've got this in the business. If you haven't got any testimonies, you've got no clients, be raw with people and say, I want to get this here. I'll do work for you for free to get a testimonial. But they're the kind of things: exposure, networking, mentorship, and hard work. I feel that's the key fundamentals. Hard work is the main thing. If you're lazy and you want to party hard, and you can do that, don't get me wrong, but then you're not going to see the massive benefit. And I don't feel you don't need to be a massive. I always say to people, why would you become a billionaire? If you become a billionaire, you're walking past a homeless person that has nothing and you're not helping them. So where you might want to be is, you want to be at a level where the balance is correct. And to get that, it's not having an idea like Facebook and putting an app out there. It's actually jumping on someone else's bandwagon. They've done it. You could do it. Just, to be happy, you don't need to become a genius. So you can still have a good social life, but the Monday to Friday or Saturday, it needs to be a core hard work, and you're fundamentally going the right way. That's my take on it.
I love that. Thank you very much. And more about yourself now. So what's next for you and your your projects?
So my main thing is to make sure we're growing the social media marketing agency as we go. We're only 18 months, but we're starting to make waves within the East Midlands, and we want to start working with bigger clients, more podcast episodes, more IG live, more talking to people like yourself. Sorry, and I've not done public speaking. If you knew that, so my next step is to do public speaking, and just getting myself out there. And again, I always step back to the property development side of things, where we always want to grow that as well, so that we've got there's certain levels we want to get up to that. And I feel we're completing 2 projects in Derby at the minute, and once they're over, we'll looking to our next move is to get an office for a larger office. So we've got a podcast room, we've got a network event area within South Leicestershire. But yeah, it's just onwards and upwards and personal growth. That's the main thing. Small steps. We're not looking too far ahead.
Yeah, I love that, mate. And finally, last hard-hitting question before I let you sort of plug everything. What do you want your legacy to be?
To make sure that I've helped a lot of people just by being me. And if I could financially, then I will. But my whys are to make sure the next couple of generations are cool with what I've done, but to help underprivileged. That's my main goal. And if I fulfill that, when my time's done, that means I'm pretty much I'm complete with life.
Well, I wish you all the best of luck with that and all your other projects as well. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been very valuable for me, and I'm sure all my listeners will agree as well. Last thing, where can people find out more about you?
So before with that, thank you very much for having me. It's been a good chat, and your podcast is doing brilliantly. Hence why I got in touch with you, and I hope you make waves. And I know you are, but thanks for having me on.
Not yet, but thank you. Not yet.
But yeah, my main platform I use is Instagram, and it's Atish Parmar, my full name. But I'm on Facebook as official Atish Parmar, and LinkedIn. It's Atish Parmar. Our podcast is called the Social Connection Podcast, which I'm sure I'll be inviting you onto that, and that's on Spotify and Apple. But yeah, Metric Connect's our website. But if you want to DM me, get me on Instagram, and it's Atish Parmar.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, mate. Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, take care. Thanks for having me.
Cheers, mate.
If only they knew, the hub for young business minds.